Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So today we're going to be working on the tissues of the upper back, kind of in between the spine and the shoulder blade, helping just get those tissues moving so the shoulder blade moves around and the ribs can actually move around a little bit better. So in today's 10-minute follow along video, you're going to need a lacrosse ball, and you can just kind of put that to the side for right now. We'll see if I can get it to not roll away on us. We're just going to start kneeling down, and we're going to start just by getting some motion into the arms. So let's just go some arm swings across your chest. We're gonna go thumbs up. As we're doing this, even though we're kneeling down, that doesn't mean we wanna ignore what we're doing here. So draw the belly button in, rib cage down, extend up tall. Well, let's do some across the chest with thumbs up. Then we'll go thumbs down across the chest, just hitting different angles here. And then we're gonna hold those arms out in front of us like this, palms up. You're gonna go as high as you can, elbows locked out without breaking at the spine. And once you hit that as high as you can part, we're gonna flip your hands around and reach back as far as you can and come back up. So we'll do that a couple more times. Going high, flip it around, reach around, going up high, one last one. All right, now we're gonna go to the exact opposite. So palms back behind you, as high as you can this way, then flip around and go as high up as you can. Back, flip it around, go as high up as you can. Do one more, go back as high up as you can. So now we're gonna move over to the lacrosse ball. We're gonna go after these tissues in your upper back here. So if you're wondering where to put it, you can really put it anywhere along here. We're not trying to put it directly on top of a bone, but just like always, you gotta go search around a little bit. So how we're gonna do this, we're just gonna lay down on your back. Just popping that ball onto those tissues. And I like to kind of search around a little bit until I find a spot that really makes me kind of shut up for a minute so I can sit there and focus on it. So I think I've got it now. So we're just gonna spend a little bit of time here just kind of relaxing into it. Once you find that spot, remember we don't want to be all tense. A lot of this is just desensitizing the area. Okay, now we can start working through a range of motion. So we want to pin those tissues down, and we're gonna go thumb to the ground as we go up and over our head. And then we're gonna come up and then across our body and go thumb to the ground again, this time towards the opposite hip. We're just gonna go back and forth. If you hit any spot that's particularly nasty, we're just gonna hang out there for a little bit. Oof. So this one's a little goofy on me, so we're just gonna hang out here, focus on breathing and relaxing. Back and forth. We're gonna end up spending a couple minutes here. And again, if that area starts to feel good, you can go search around somewhere else. We've got about 30 more seconds. Back and forth, trying to stay relaxed. Trying to stay out of that fight or flight mode. Let your body know that it is okay for these tissues to have some pressure on it. It's okay for these tissues to be able to move around. One last kind of rep here. All right, then we'll switch over to the other side. So same thing. This is where you might feel side to side. It's very, very different. So we're gonna spend the first little bit just kind of looking for a spot. That was pretty quick. I found one pretty easily there. So now that I found one, I'm just going to breathe. Relax into it. Always I'm trying to look for what's the most comfortable, laziest way I can relax. That way I'm not having to hold myself up in weird positions here. Then we can start moving around, thumb to the ground. Coming down, thumb to the opposite hip. I should have said this earlier. If you end up going high up on your back, sometimes you need a little bit extra pressure there. I'm a little bit lower on my back right now, but if you need that extra pressure, you can always send those hips up in the air. So especially if you're getting into that first rib trap area really high, sending those hips into the air can help a lot. And if you don't want to do that hip bridge, you can always get a chair or put your legs on a couch or something like that to help just make that angle a little bit easier. So when I find areas that are just particularly tight, I'm gonna hang out there, breathe. I can flex into it, take a big breath in, and then relax everything. So I relax onto the ball. Just going through ranges of motion here, just trying to get those tissues to move. Got about 30, 25 more seconds here. Just taking our time, relaxing here. Trying to restore some slide and glide to those tissues. All right, couple more seconds. All right, so now we're gonna sit up. We don't need the lacrosse ball anymore, so you can just throw it across your room. We are gonna just get into a kneeling position. We're gonna get nice and tall again. We're gonna focus on that posture. You're gonna take your left arm and put it under your right. So you're putting that left elbow under that right elbow, and then you're bringing the left hand close to the face as you wrap around to grab your right arm. I'll turn kind of sideways here, give you a better view. So we're just using this position to help stretch those tissues in our back. You can really shove your hands away from you. You can pull them back. You can lift your elbows up, push away. So we can just kind of hang out here. We're gonna go just about a minute on each side. Just kind of getting a little bit of stretch here. But draw the belly button in, rib cage down, extend up tall. Just getting a little stretch. You can wiggle, help externally rotate that right arm. And then shake it out a little bit. We're gonna go to the left side. So now right arm goes under the left, the right hand comes close to the face and wraps around. Try and grab onto that left hand. You can lift up, push the hands away, really just play around. You can externally rotate that left arm using the right arm. We're just gonna get about a minute here, trying the same thing, relax. Don't hold your breath in these goofy positions, just try and relax through them. All right, we got about 20 more seconds here. You can lift up, push away. All right, shake it out a little bit. Let's do some arm swings across just to kind of get blood flowing. All right, now we're gonna go into tabletop position. And we're not doing cat and cow here. In cat and cow, we would purposefully round everything and extend everything. What we're gonna do is just get nice and flat with our back neutral, belly button drawn in. We're twisting into the ground, so elbow pits are forward just like we would in a push-up. And then we're just moving those shoulder blades around. So we're trying to only get shoulder blades around. Common mistake we see here is a lot of back movement, but then we also see a lot of elbow movement. So really push hard into the ground as you drop your shoulders down. Just trying to get the shoulder blades moving around. Okay, now you're just gonna walk your hands out further forward. Let's put those thumbs together. Again, twist in the ground so those elbow pits are facing up. We're just gonna go into puppy pose here. You're shoving your head down, really pushing away from the ground. You can lean to the right side, you can lean to the left side. But let's just wiggle around. We're gonna spend some time down here. I really like to focus on staying active through my hands, just like I would be doing if I was doing a handstand. So I have my full hand on the ground and I'm twisting in, creating that external torque in the shoulder. That way I'm stretching positions that I'm gonna use later, making sure my rib cage is controlled and I'm not just overextending everything. Leaning from side to side, stop trying to stay active here. All right, now with those hands a little bit forward from what that tabletop position would be, we're gonna go into downward dog, but still same thing, full hand on the ground, twisting in, and I'm just gonna push through. You can pedal the feet around, but we're gonna put just most of the focus on that upper back. So really pushing your head through. You can shift your weight around from side to side. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time here. Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna get down into a push-up plank position. Sorry, get down in the bottom of a push-up position. We're gonna twist in, make sure our back is nice and tight, the shoulder blades are back. Draw your belly button in. We're just gonna go into like a baby cobra here, so slightly bent arms, but the focus is not letting my shoulders dump forward. So shoulders back, come in here, and I'm just gonna lean, wiggle from side to side. Belly button drawn in, kind of keep those shoulders back. Okay, then we'll come back down. You can kind of shake it out a little bit. And we're just gonna end it with 3 perfect push-ups. You can do these on your knees if you want, but make sure your belly button's drawn in, everything's nice and tight. Try and feel those back muscles stay nice and engaged. All right, there you have it. Some nice recovery from that upper back that tends to get overstretched when we're sitting on computers doing just kind of goofy things in front racks if we're not completely getting in those good posture positions. So remember, moral of the story with these things is 10 minutes consistently throughout your weeks, throughout your years is going to be so much better for you than having these really long hour and a half long sessions where you do them sporadically throughout the week, consistently day in, day out. The positions we put ourselves in is ultimately going to have the biggest impact on what we're doing. And then we want to make sure we're touching each piece, each part of us at least once a month. So this same routine, we can go a bunch of different places here on the back. So check in on this one every now and then. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to y'all soon.